Welcome back to the Talking with My Hans channel, everyone. This is my review of Chapter 11 of The Mandalorian titled The Heiress. This is, of course, a spoiler review, but the fun part is that I intercut my reactions right into the review so you guys get the best of both worlds. Unfortunately, this week I wasn't able to do the reaction portion, but you're still getting my full review.
Who's scruffy looking?
If you're new around here, welcome. We do Mando reviews every week on this channel, along with some Squadrons gameplay, movie audio commentaries, and so much more Star Wars goodness, so feel free to leave a like and hit the subscribe button while you're down there. Okay, so if you haven't seen another review or reaction video yet, which at this point is very unlikely, here's a quick synopsis. After saving the Frog Lady and getting her to Trask, Din needs to sail across the planet's treacherous seas in hope of finding more Mandalorians. Din and the child are played and almost killed by their Quarren hosts, but not before Bo Katan of Clan Kryze and the Night Owls show up to save the day. Din, Bo, and the Night Owls are forced to take on an Imperial freighter later in the episode in search of something Bo Katan is in desperate need of. But their search leads to a dead end, and as for Din and the child, their search for the Jedi opens up at the end of the episode. Going through that synopsis was probably the hardest part about doing this review because there were so many little things that I felt were important that I had to just leave out. I think that's why this episode is one of the best of the entire series so far. This episode was the sandwich that has so many great tastes that you never want to put it down. Every scene has an important line of dialogue or great action that there's just never a point where you look away. In Chapter 10, I felt like there were points in that episode that could be mulled over, but not in Chapter 11. Of course, how can I talk about Chapter 11 and not talk about Katee Sackhoff as Bo Katan? It was rumored some time ago that she would be playing this character in the show, but nothing had been confirmed until her appearance on Friday. What a fantastic casting choice. I know she was the voice for Bo in the Clone Wars and Rebels, but she also has a fantastic track record when it comes to live action series. She has a great on-scene presence and knows how to carry a scene, which almost makes it a no-brainer to have her show up on the show. Every scene with her is a favorite of mine from the episode, especially the one where she uses "this is the way" as sort of a backhanded insult to Din.
This is the way.
I also think that this episode was great for the overall mythology of the series. Each of the episodes in Season 2 so far have been pretty well isolated for the most part. And when I say that, I mean there wasn't a whole lot of backstory revealed about Din or the child or what the state of the galaxy is at this point. And that's certainly okay, but I'm so glad this episode attacked all of those things head on because I think it was a big reason why I just couldn't stop watching. I especially love that we saw more of why Din never takes off his helmet while other Mandalorians can. The Children of the Watch is a fun addition to his backstory, and I can't wait to learn more. Also, seeing the Empire rather commit suicide than being captured by the enemy is incredibly dark, but also so genius because it fits perfectly with Palpatine's mantra for the post-Endor Empire. If an empire cannot protect its emperor, then that empire must be deemed a failure. It collapses not only because its central figure is gone, but because it must not be allowed to remain. Another part about Chapter 11 that I really loved was its location. I don't think I've seen too many other people talk about this in their own reviews, but the nautical, marine, seaport location was superb. We get to see a lot of different biomes and ecosystems when it comes to Star Wars locations, but the one we almost never see is a marine-based one. The seaport of Trask is just so cool, and I love how dark and grungy it is. And this goes back to something we talk about every week with this show, and that it always seems to push the boundaries, but also continues to feel like an authentic Star Wars experience every time. And of course, how can I talk about Chapter 11 without talking about the ending?
Take the Foundling to the city of Caladan on the forest planet of Corvus. There you will find Ahsoka Tano. Tell her you were sent by Bo Katan. And thank you.
The addition of Ahsoka Tano will be troublesome to some, but To be honest, and I've said this before, it's possible to add familiar characters and still retain the series' identity. Just look at how Bo Katan and the Night Owls did in this episode. Did adding a character from Rebels and the Clone Wars ruin the quaintness of The Mandalorian? No, of course it didn't. I think many of you would argue that this is the best episode of the series, and I can't wait to see Ahsoka in the coming weeks, and I'm sure you're all with me on that one. As usual, I want to know what you thought of The Mandalorian Chapter 11. Was it the best episode in the series for you so far? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.